a book I have made. This is the first book, the first passage of Third Voice, which is a long-term ongoing graphic novel project. This first book is the first about 400 pages up through the two legs material, if you are familiar with that. So, if you've been reading it at all, you probably have a sense that it's going to be an ongoing thing with some connective through line. But each book I am trying to treat as a fairly self-contained project with its own concerns and its own beginning and end. So this is a graphic novel that says its own thing and builds into a larger story. Let me just walk through a little bit how it looks, how it has turned out. Um, Firstly, I wanted an extremely loud purple spot color for the cover and the edge, the staining on the edge of the text block here. I got the little Pantone color book from the SVA library and got a perfect color that is a little bit louder than can be conveyed, I think, through the video here. There's spot gloss on this logo and on the back cover with this nice little black and white illustration. Logo is designed by Andrei Lukin, I guess 3 years ago. I, we did a lot of back and forth. I wanted him to make something that felt fairly, slick and like a fantasy paperback, right? That's kind of what I want this to look like. I want it to be a pop cultural object presented fairly loudly and colorfully and slickly. The edge staining is something I never really have done before, but I think it ties the whole thing together. So inside, it is obviously mostly the comic as you have seen it. Minimalist title page, and then we're into it. This is the first thing that I have self-published where I have been really acutely aware of the limitations of CMYK color printing, and I have tried to lean into and push those limitations from the start of my process working on this comic. So as a result, it looks really more exactly like I wanted it to look than anything I have made before, color-wise. Uh, the line work also, I don't know, looks extremely sharp. It looks a lot more is communicated than you can see in the low resolution web images. Also, I figured out a way to basically automate trapping to make sure that all the black areas are as solid looking as they should be. And there's no, how do I explain this? The text, where it's black text on white, is printed only in black ink, so it's extremely sharp. There's no other colors underneath it, which is a problem that I and other color comics sometimes have that causes things to look a little less sharp. This is all basically invisible to most readers, but it was important to me to figure out finally. Um, in addition to the story, there is, I think, around 20 pages of an afterword, which is all on the same yellow color as the little footnotes, sort of signifying a stepping outside of the literalistic context of the story itself. This is kind of a rambling personal essay about my thoughts and experience with the project and my work generally. So it's not a world internal thing, but I think it is interesting. There's a lot of little development art and a handful, but not all, of the pertinent art that I produced alongside the comic. Um, anyway, I'm very happy with it. I debuted it at Small Press Expo a few weeks ago. I brought some dozens of copies and sold all of them there. It is now, the whole shipment has been received by Topatico in Massachusetts. Um, they have been tremendously helpful with making self-publishing all this stuff feasible. And if you are interested in buying the thing, you can do it there. I currently am not thinking too hard about printing future books of the thing. I have a sense of like what they will look like as a series, but it's stressful to think about printing multiple volumes of a long-term thing, so let's just focus on the first one for now, I guess. Okay, third voice, first passage. Big purple book. I've had a few people ask if I'm doing like an additional edition that's like a more, serious business hardcover thing. I am not doing that. I am thinking of this as the optimal thing. I have tried to make this a, beautiful, perfect way to read the comic. Um, I'm not thinking about any other edition of the thing. Thank you so much for your interest in this book. I'm excited that it's finally going to be out there. And as you may know, I continue to draw this thing. We're very near the end of the second book of it now, which is, I think, only a little bit longer than this one. Um, I'm sort of getting together the whole climactic bit right now. I'm updating it most weeks on Monday at rice-boy.com. And from there, it sort of spins outward again and becomes a yet bigger thing. So, the most important thing to me is just, if you're interested in it, that you read it for free. You don't even have to buy the book if you don't want. You don't have to tell me about it or anything. But I appreciate your interest. Have a good day.